So it's nearly been 30 years since Northern Ireland have last qualified for a major tournament. You've just been a little baby yourself. It's been a while since. Has it kind of sank in yet?
Yeah, I think it's sank in now. I think at the time it was just sort of so manic with what happened with celebrations, and then we had to play the last game in Finland, so we didn't really get a chance to celebrate too much. But since coming back to the club, had a few games with the club, and then we had another game against Latvia, so we sort of got a chance to get together and soak things up. So now we've been talking about like where we're going to stay and the sort of logistics about it. So it is sinking in, and we've no game now until March, so there's like a 4-month gap. So it's just time to get sort of head down with the club and sort of try and get yourself in the best shape possible.
You say get your head down with the club. Do you think having qualified for an international tournament obviously gives you a massive boost for your club football as well?
Yeah, I think it's a really big incentive at the back of my mind. Like obviously now I'm back with the club, I need to focus on Hamilton and doing well for Hamilton, and it works well for both sides. I want to do well for Hamilton, for myself to play in the international games coming up, and hopefully that'll benefit Hamilton with good performances and helping the team, things like that.
And in terms of the group, England are seeded, so there's every chance you could draw them. Would you like to play another home nation, or does it really matter now?
I don't really care too much. I suppose England would be nice. We beat them before a few years ago. It was kind of a famous victory at Windsor Park. But there's so many teams in the top group and top seeding that you'd like to face. I think the draw's on the 12th of December, and it's something we're really looking forward to. I think it's exciting, and I think once the groups are drawn, no matter who we get, it'll become a lot more real then, and fixtures will get announced and where the games are getting played. So it'll start really sinking in then.
Yeah. Just as well, is there any similarities between Michael O'Neill and Martin Gannon for you?
Yeah, I think they're both sort of younger thinking managers. Really tactically aware. Focus a lot on the sort of analysis side of things. Whereas a lot of older managers wouldn't. They may sort of be a bit more old school. Now they're very forward thinking, and they're good with the players. The players want to play for them. They like them as people. There's respect, but there's not a sort of fear factor maybe where other managers sort of rule with an iron fist. They're similar in that side of things as well.
And Scottish football can take a bit of stick from down south and elsewhere, but you've spent more or less your whole career over here. Do you think you'd be where you were without having been at the clubs you've been at?
No, I think myself personally, I think playing rugby has really got me to where I am now, and obviously the opportunity I had maybe in the championship with Ross County and at Falkirk, I think I got a good amount of games there. So over the last 4 or 5 years I played nearly 200 games, and I think that was a big part in where I am at the moment, and I just want to continue to play as many games as I can for Hamilton and try and do as well as I can for them, and hopefully it'll sort of make me more of a fixture in the international in the team.
And going back to Hamilton now, how do you think the season's been so far for Accies?
I think the season's been really good. I think at the start of the season, you always get people talking about your tip for relegation. I think there wasn't many people who didn't tip us for relegation, so I had a bit of a smile about that because I think it's the manager recruited really well, and people weren't aware of the players he brought in, the standards he brought in, and I think that's been a big factor in how the season's gone so far. I mean, we lost 3 really important players in January, and we struggled to replace them. And I think since they've got a break in the summer, the manager's brought in some excellent signings. I think we started really well, and even when results haven't gone for us, there's been maybe 1 or 2 occasions when we haven't performed to the way we would have, but overall performance levels have been high in most of the games, and I think if you keep the performance levels high, then the results will come.
And just lastly, have you started practicing your French?
No, I have not, no.
Can you give us any?
No, unfortunately I can't give you any French. I'll maybe start before the Euros.